All right, today is Wednesday, Thursday. Hopefully you're having a terrific day. Today is a test review slash just getting you ready, understanding the full concept of writing equations. There's a lot that's going to happen today. I will go into extreme detail. This video might be a little bit lengthy. After you're done, go over the review Jeopardy just so you have an idea of what's going to be on the test. A lot of things are happening. For B Day, your test is on Friday. For A Day, your test is on Monday. For my classes, you already took the test, so make sure you're doing the best you can. 2.3 says to cut out the graphs. I will definitely ask Mr. Bolden, Mr. Bowman, if they trust you. Obviously, if you're not cutting graphs, that's okay. You're still doing the same exact thing. Here we go. Skipping all of this, I just want to jump right into the review. Skipping. Talk to talk is exactly what I want to look at. This is the review. Now, before we even start, we're going to jump to skipping these graphs to a blank page. Now, I want to label this quick review. Just because I want us to understand for the review, there's a lot of information that you want to make sure that you understand. There's 3 parts. Change color. The first part, arithmetic to functions. Oh, I totally misspelled that. See, this is why I'm a math teacher, not an English teacher. Just kidding. All right. If I have an arithmetic sequence, A of n equals, let's do something nice, 10 plus 5 n minus 1. I should be able to solve this to give me f of n. I should be able to. Now, of course, with the certain circumstances, a lot of us just need to rewatch this video, understand it, write some notes if you have it, and just go at it. Okay. First things first. According to PEMDAS, I must go after the parentheses first. Parentheses means to multiply if there's a number in front. I will circle this 5n because it's going to show multiplication, and this is a 5 positive 5. Now to show multiplication, I will draw nice 2 arrows, or let's do it one at a time, showing multiplication of 5 times n. N is an imaginary 1, so 5 times 1, double check, we come out of here. 5 times 1 to double check is 5. Now, because I multiply with an n, this n is now married to the 5 because we multiply. Next one, 5 times a negative 1. 5 times a negative 1 is a negative 5. And because this 10 wasn't invited to the party, we bring him down. Since this 5 is positive, I put positive. Now, it is your job to be able to recognize, and I know it could be hard. It is your job to recognize that one of these numbers is different. It's not the negative, it's not the 5. 10, 5n, negative 5. Which one is different? This 5n. The 5 is different because it has that variable, that letter. So, because it has that letter, he automatically is now part of the answer. 5n is part of the answer. You could do one of 2 things. You could cross it out, up to you. The following thing we got to be worried about is adding these 2 guys. Let me erase that real quick because I don't like how I did that. Adding these 2 leftover guys. Now, easy peasy lemon squeezy. 10 plus a negative 5. Let's do it in the calculator. We're adding them all the time. 10 plus negative 5. gives me positive 5. So my answer is 5n plus 5. Of course, run through it again. You could use your own numbers. The only numbers I would love for you to replace are 5 and 10. Replace those numbers and you should be able to do it. Part 2. Going to do 2 sections. Point slope. So point slope form is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. We will convert this into y equals form. I'm going to give us some new numbers. We got y plus, let's use 7 equals 1 over 5 parentheses x. Yes, let's use minus 25. That's okay with me. Same type of process. Exact same type of process, I promise. But we do need to try our best. First things first, border. Now remember, I want this to say y equals at the end. Here we go. Go after the parentheses first. Parentheses means to multiply. I circle that fraction. 1 over 5 times an imaginary 1. If I'm not sure, I come to my calculator. How do I put a fraction? Alpha, y equals, first one, enter. 1 over 5 times an imaginary 1. Still 1 over 5. Since I did it against an x, the x is now married to him. Next number, 1 over 5 times a negative 25. Alpha, y equals, enter. 1 over 5. Oops, sorry. Parentheses 25. Sorry, negative 25, correct. Enter. Negative 5. Bring down the y. Bring down the 7. We are almost done. Here we go. Now, again, I need this y by itself. So I need to move that 7. We talked about it before. In order to move somebody, you got to do the inverse operation. You got to do the opposite. So the way I do the opposite of a positive 7, I must subtract it. But when I do it to this side, I must do it to the other side. Now, we have to subtract it from either 1 over 5x or minus 5. Why wouldn't I do it with this x? Because the 7 does not have the x. We got to put the same people with the same people, okay? The same numbers with the same type of numbers. And again, if it has a variable, our letter, that makes it completely different. So now that we know that this is somebody that's different, we can bring them down. Don't forget to do the minus 7 over here. This is end up being 0. 1 over 5x is now in a different party. Negative 5 minus 7. Negative 5 minus 7 is negative 12. And there's my answer. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Sounds terrific. Next type of form. So we did point slope, now we're doing standard. Again, if you want to come to tutorials to get additional help, I would love to help. AX plus BY equals C using some new numbers. Sorry, let's keep it like that. Let's do 8x minus 3y equals, we could do negative 30. Okay. Same type of ordeal, ladies and gentlemen. I want to solve for y. I need to solve for y. I need this by itself so I can say y equals. I need it to say y equals. It must, because it makes it easier. I can label this m and b, and I have my slope and my y-intercept. Okay? Now, here we go. First things first, I need to move this 8x. The way I move that 8x is to do the opposite, of course, which is my inverse to move it over. The opposite of a positive 8 is a minus 8 or negative 8, however you would like to say it. I come over here to show that I am moving it over. This ends up being 8 minus 8 is 0. We don't want that. Then ask yourself real quick, can I subtract these two numbers? Negative 30 minus 8? No, you cannot subtract those numbers. This 30 does not have an x. So I need to make myself a little note. Rewrite. What do I mean by rewrite? It's right here. Bring down this negative 8x. Bring down minus 30 to the party. We got a nice little setup so far. Bring down negative 3y. And my last step is to divide. So you move, divide. Move, and then divide. Move this guy over, rewrite, and now we're going to divide. What are we going to divide? Negative 3y, negative 3 and y are multiplying. They're married right now. How do I get rid of a married couple? Divorce them. Since I did divide by 3 over here, I need to do it over here. Negative 3, negative 3. I must include the negative in order to cancel it out. This cancels out. There's my y equals. I love it. Got to put this in the calculator just to verify. Alpha y equals, enter, negative 8 over negative 3, enter, 8 over 3. You can leave it as a fraction, that's okay with me. X, change from negatives to positives, negative 30 over 3. Alpha y equals, enter, negative 30 over negative 3. Positive 10. That was my answer. Who's my slope? 8 over 3. Who's my y-intercept? 10. Wonderful. I love it. We're doing a great job. I know this video is a little lengthy. That's okay, because we want to make sure you're learning. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is a talk to talk. You need to be able to practice converting and give me the y-intercept. Put a star next to this first example. Let me zoom in. Looking at 1A. I want your job to be not only to identify that this is the slope and this is the y-intercept. Easy. Slope is 3 over 5. You don't need to put the x, but if you want to, you can. And my slope is negative 4. Put a star, please. I need to be able to remember, I need to write this as a coordinate. So after I see that b is equal to 4, I need to write this as a coordinate x, y. My coordinate is 0, negative 4. I can go into extreme detail, making sure you recognize since b is my y-intercept, we put it right there with the y. We're not going to talk about why it's 0 for right now because we haven't gone to graphing, but keep that in the back of your mind. To go from b, make it into a point, bum, 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 you got your answer. Please do all of these questions so you can get some practice. You definitely want to practice. Most of the stuff is on your test. Mr. Bowman and Mr. Bolden will have the answers. My students without a teacher, please ask me if you need to. Here we go. Make sure for C you convert, E you convert. There's a little -1 right here. It's not a 1, but it's there. Convert. This is a very good problem. Definitely do this, definitely do this. You need to think. You don't have to do number 2 just because we don't want to stress you out. And then lastly, the graphs. The graphs, you should be able to get 2 points. I'll help you out. First point is 300 x y 28 180 x y. Stat, edit, stat, calc 4. Calculator, you should do it. Leave this to the end, letter B. Same thing right here. 2 points. 1, 3, 5, 7, x, y. X, y, stat, edit, stat, calc 4. Same thing for the table. Stat, edit, stat, calc 4. Same thing for the table. Stat, edit, stat, calc 4. The F and the B, carefully read, and you should be able to mark the correct equations. On the equations, of course, you're just going to put, okay, this is whatever representation, either A, oh, it's not letting me. Either A, B, C, D, E, or F. Just mark it. This will be on your quiz. Watch out. Make sure you convert, throwing the X over. Make sure you convert and you'll see the answer. It was a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all have a terrific, terrific day. Make sure you go over the review Jeopardy. A lot of stuff on that will be on the test. Friday is your test. Please, please, please try your best. After your test, you will do Matthew. I'll make a remind video so you can make sure you're ready to go. Thank you all very much. Have a terrific, terrific day.